I don't know where that's recording to, but hi, hello, welcome to tonight's team call. It is the first Monday in November, and I'm so excited that you are here with us. Before we get started, I just made a post earlier into Divine Dynasty with our marketing schedule for the month. If you have any questions about that, please post it on that post. I'm happy to answer everything and anything that you have. Reminder, we have Better Together Bootcamp that starts the 8th and goes to the 28th. Do people have to be on a team? Absolutely not. It's the same group. We just continually roll it out every single month, just for those people who do want support in a group, in a community. This is where you want to encourage them to lean in. The last day to sign up for that is the 5th. I will have the teams announced the 6th by bedtime. I'm not putting a specific time because life is chaos, but I will announce that then, and then we will just roll into it starting the 8th. So now's the time to get people into it. We do have $20 off all total solution packs through the end of this month. No excuse November. Let's go. Now is the time where you get to really help them. And the cool thing is we have the, what's it called? Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe Go and Glow with the collagen, energize, and hydrate. Hey, that's freaking awesome that we have another option. So anyways, let me step off my soapbox and I will roll it over to tonight's speaker. Amy Bly is going to bring you all her fire and energy.
Let me step onto the soapbox. You just know. You just freaking know. And Kelsey, that baby, I doesn't want to squeeze her. Anyway, I was distracted by the babies. I've had probably a lot of caffeine today. That I told my husband, I'm like, I ran on caffeine all day, energized twice, some focused energy bevy. You're getting all of me right now. Okay. So I'm here for it. I hope you are too. So Deidre asked me to speak on team call, and she asked me, like, what do you want to talk about? And I'm like, I want to talk about the high five habit. You are hearing Mel Robbins talk about the 5-second rule. That was her first major breakthrough, I think. And she talks about it in the high five habit. And what got me turned on to the high five habit is because I was listening to a podcast by Trent Shelton, and she was on that podcast. I didn't know anything about the high five habit until I had listened to this podcast. And within 2 minutes, I was in tears because of what she was talking about and how much I believe that this is going to change so many lives if they take it and they use it. And it's something so easy to do and so easy not to do, because it really honestly makes you kind of face yourself in the mirror and give yourself a high five every morning. And she says, she's like, it's so silly, it's so stupid, just like the 5-second rule, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. It's a chance for you to really sit with yourself, really look at yourself every morning and really affirm yourself. And that's what it's all about. It's about stopping looking around for outside validation and validate your own damn self. And that is really building trust in here, trust in yourself, love for yourself. And I thought when I started this book, I'm like, she's just going to talk about like doing a high five in the mirror, and then she's going to repeat herself over and over and over again. There's so much science behind why it works in this book. And she reiterates that. She tells you stories about different people that have done this and different excuses that she gets from people, but she really dives really, really far deep into this. It's not just like a woo-woo, oh, high five in the mirror. She's like, listen, you're going to have to deal with your shit. Okay. So why did I start the high five habit? Yeah, I listened to the podcast. I knew I needed to do it, but there's a bigger reason. And I think very much believe in the universe and things and places and events coming into our path for a very specific reason and a very specific time. You may not understand it yet, and it may not be something that is great for you at the time. It may hurt and may really suck, but it's there for a reason. So 6 weeks ago, I had a really hard conversation with these two ladies, Deidre and Natalie, and it triggered a really, really big change that I had to make for myself. I had come out of a month where I had failed on a goal, and I had failed for the first time in 12 solid months plus. I had failed to hit Success Club. I did not help 3 people. And I didn't know what the hell was going on with me. I'm like, why did I not make this happen? I've made this happen every single month, 3+ every single month for over 12 months. And I'm like, what am I doing here? And I let that feeling ride all the way into most of October. And we were on a conversation together, and I was talking about feeling like I was doing everything for everyone and no one was appreciating me for what I was doing. I clean the house, I do the dishes, I pick kids up, I drop them off, I do the laundry, I show up for work, I show up for my workout, I show up for me. I'm doing all these things and nothing is happening. What is wrong? What am I doing wrong? What is wrong with me? That, friends, is a place that a lot of us sit in that shame, because whenever things are not going well, we catastrophize. Hi, that's me. We catastrophize and everything's wrong. And then it becomes into, I'm wrong. There's something wrong with me. But really what was wrong was the feeling behind the action that I was taking and the resentment that I was taking from it. Instead of asking for help, instead of understanding that no one in my house was asking me to do these things, that I was doing them for a specific reason. What I was doing was doing those things and asking them to affirm me, asking them to tell me thank you, asking them to lift me up for things that they don't even care that I'm doing. That, friend, is looking for outside validation in all the wrong places, okay? And I didn't know about the high five habit at the time. I just knew I felt some kind of way and I didn't like it. I knew I had a lot of anxiety, which triggered a lot of angry feelings, and I didn't like it. I don't like being that person. I want to break free from that habit. I didn't know what else to do. So we get deeper and deeper and deeper into the conversation, right? And then comes that question. And I think I will probably tell this story for years and years to come. Deidre asked me, Amy, do you actually love yourself? Do you really love yourself? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't love the person who I'm being. I don't love the person I'm putting out into the universe. I don't love who I am showing up for my family. I don't love the person showing up for my business. This feels wrong. That's why I felt like I was doing something wrong, because there was something inside that was not right, because I was showing up with a front saying I love myself and I don't. Okay. So whenever I listen to that podcast, I'm like, light bulb, I have to do it. I have to do this book. But where it started for me after that conversation was, how do I learn how to love myself? How do I learn how to love myself? And as I'm going through the conversation and I'm going through all my feelings and I'm like talking it all out, because that's what I do. I feel so hard, and I talk about my feelings, and I talk and I talk and I talk, right? I just uncover. And then I'm like, what it came down to is I had to focus on my physical body and my mental health, which really meant that I had to drill down my nutrition and fuel my body, not be perfect, not be like, oh my God, I have to eat this and this and this. It was literally fueling my body with the proper amount of vegetables, making sure I'm not overeating on carbs, and feeling good, getting enough water. That was step number 1. Step number 2 was making sure that I was showing up every day in my personal development. Make sure I was actually doing my personal development. Make sure I was actually journaling. Make sure I was actually doing those self-care things, the things that are not easy, but you need to do them. I had to start facing some real shit. And then I called a house cleaner. Because I'm like, I don't care what it's going to take. I will fork out whatever money I have to, and I will make this happen, because I'm not going to walk around with these resentful feelings around my family over things that don't really matter. And if I could take that off my plate and I could focus on myself, my mental health, my wellness, and my business, that is going to make me feel better. So all those steps are in place. And then the high five habit came into play. And I'm like, I must do this. So I start doing it. I'm reading the book. I'm going through the whole practice. And it's going well, right? Still not hitting my business goals. Still not doing what I want. I'm not getting the results that I want to have, right? And then comes the retreat weekend with the girls. And they will probably tell you, I sat on that couch listening to Julie Voris speak about here we are. That was all she had to say was here we are. And I'm like, like bawling the entire freaking time. But it was so true. I think I was so ungrounded from where I was. And I was looking for so many different places and things to blame all my shit on and run to. But I had to stop and put my feet in the ground. Here we are. Now is the time to really face your shit. And that's where I was. I had taken all those steps, showed up for my health, my fitness. I was feeling good, but up here it just wasn't clicking. It wasn't turning. Still wasn't making the goals happen. And that weekend, I finally decided to let go of these fears and limiting beliefs that maybe I'm just done, washed up, over it. I can't be a leader anymore. No one wants to do this with me. And I started ripping the Band-Aid off. I stopped being afraid to ask people to do this with me. I stopped being afraid to be that really, really good friend that just asks a question. Do you want to do this with me? And it started turning into a trend of, oh my gosh, I'm like showing up better. I've let go of all that baggage. I have really grounded myself in where I was to really realize how amazing I actually am. And I feel like a lot of us are in that place in one time or another. We all hit that wall. You know, you're on this high riding success, and then it's like, then you're in your valley and you're like, what the hell is happening here? And how do I get out of it? I don't think that any of us go through any kind of journey, whether it's coaching journey or health and fitness journey, without hitting that low point at some point, because this is all up and down. This is highs and lows. This is your life. And if you can stop for a second and realize that your health and fitness and your business, or maybe your health and fitness and your life, all those things are actually just one big piece. We're the ones that separate them out and say, like, if things are starting to hit the fan, then I can't show up for this, and I can't show up for that, and I can't show up for that. When really it is, you just need to pull your head out of your ass and stop being a little bitch. Like, that was me. That was the talk I had to have with myself. And that's just what it is. And, you know, for lack of better terms, but that's how I address it. Pull your head out of your ass, Amy. It's time to show up, right? So with the high five habit, why does it work? So I've marked some pages in this book and some science that she puts behind the high five habit. And then I'll get to like how I do my high five habit. So she talks about this thing called the RAS. The RAS is like a filter. It's like this thing that catches all the shit that we throw at it in our brain, all the bad stuff. So it's caught it all like a filter on a dryer. So all that lint, all that crap is just sitting there, cluttering our minds every single day. So we have to start to learn how to reset the RAS in our brains. And we do that by doing the high five habit, because the high five habit really makes you actually affirm yourself. And there's a feeling that I get, honestly, whenever I stand in front of the mirror and I put my hand up to the mirror and I say my affirmation, literally, I'm telling you, a weight falls off my chest. Just a literal weight is just gone. just for that little bit of time. And I might have to do it multiple times a day. I might be feeling like I'm scaling back into that dark place again. But she talks about reframing your RAS. And another example of that she has in the book is looking for hearts everywhere. What you look for is what you find. So your RAS is trained to look for all the bad shit because you're terrible, because everything's wrong, because you're catastrophizing, and then you sit in shame, and then you find all the other things that are wrong and why you're wrong. Hi, that was me sitting in my shame going, why didn't I make that goal happen? Why did I let that happen? Why am I not where I want to be yet? And I start looking for all the reasons why I'm wrong, right? So then it just sits deeper and deeper and deeper and clogs up that filter in our brain. So let me see what else. I have a page 50 that I was going to talk about. I wrote notes because I know I'm going to get it off tangent. There was a section in this book that I really, really loved. She says approximately 91% of women are unhappy with their bodies. The media and images that you are bombarded with do not help. When you constantly wish you look different, you see a world reflected back in a way that makes you feel like you do not belong. Your entire existence feels like it's something that is wrong with you. And I think that goes for everything. You know, when you're not where you want to be in life, there's obviously something wrong with you. So you're constantly looking for things that are wrong with you. So what I did with my high five habit, there's a page in this book that has meaningful mantras. And I freaking love this list. And I've taken a pad, like a notepad of Post-its, just in case like one just doesn't feel good today, I'm going to pull out another. Okay. So the one that I've picked that really resonates with me is don't believe me, watch. That is my motto. And it has been so long, but I lost that. I lost that when I lost that goal, and I got really, really scared that I wasn't going to be able to do this anymore. And that scarcity just turns into a whole shame cycle. Okay. So scarcity is something that I have really been trying to let go of. So as I am high-fiving myself in the mirror and I'm telling me, don't believe me, watch. That's like reaffirming myself in that moment. Don't believe me, just watch. I'm going to do this and I'm going to show you what I'm made of, right? Another one that I just threw in here is move over. I got this. And that came from the KK training. I'm like, yeah, girl, I got you. If I put the work in, it will happen. That is another really awesome one that I love. I am growing every day. I am stronger than I think. I will figure this out. I have my own back. That one right there. How many of us sit in a place where we are constantly asking someone else to tell us that we're good enough? Hi, that was me for my whole life. That was me looking for other people to raise me up and save me whenever I'm just in a place where I feel like I can't get out, right? My defense mechanism as a kid and really as an adult growing up is if I cried, someone would save me. If I acted like I was just totally incapable of doing the things, anything in life, someone would come save me. Someone would. And that is really what took the power away from me for so long and taught me that I was not powerful enough to show up for my own self, to show up in my own life, to actually do things that I never thought I could do before. Because I was taught for so long, that's how I got attention. As if I cried, someone would save me. Something like the high five habit gives me that power back. It really brings it back in here. The own trust in myself that I've struggled with for years and years and years. And even as a coach for 3.5 years now, I've struggled with that. Actually trusting my own self and trusting my own ability, but the high five habit gives you that back. I deserve to feel good today. I'm enough just as I am. I can handle this. Bring it on. This one's mine. I am relentless, because I really truly am relentless. This scares me, but I'm going to do it anyway. I choose to focus on what I can control, and this moment is temporary. My new chapter is just beginning. Bet on me. I can, I will, I must. Oh, and this one here, I'm going to end out with this one. She has a spot in this book where she talks about whenever those mean, intrusive thoughts come in, when you're really feeling like the whole world is falling down around you, you can say to yourself, I'm not thinking about that right now. And repeat it as many times as you have to, because I don't know what it is about our brains and why we get stuck in these places, but I understand, because I'm there with you, friend. I'll sit there and play the same thought over and over and over and over and over again in my head. But as I'm playing those thoughts, I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about that. And then I high five myself in the mirror. It seems like the most silly, dumb thing in the world, but it really actually does work. And I encourage you, if you haven't gotten the book yet, get the book, get on Audible, get hardback, go to Mel Robbins' YouTube page. She is literally reading it chapter by chapter, section by section, and she's dissecting it in real time. She is also put it on her Instagram channel too. She is providing this for everyone because it really will change someone's life. It has changed mine so much already. I don't know what it is about it. There's all the science in there. I can't tell you everything because I don't remember. I just know that it makes me feel good. I know this is the missing piece that I was needing. I know that creating that trust in myself and that confidence that I've been lacking. And I think it really is something to say that, do we really know what true confidence is? We throw the word confidence out so much. Do you really know what it is? That's truly trusting yourself and truly showing the world like what the fuck you're made of. And you're not going to give up, because don't believe me? Watch. I'm going to do everything that I have set out for. But as soon as those scarce feelings come in, and as soon as you start feeling that you're not enough, and as soon as you start feeling, well, this didn't happen yet, so is it ever going to happen? That's when you show up harder. That's when you high five your freaking self in the mirror and you keep showing up. Because the only thing, this is a most favorite thing that Dieter's ever said, the only thing you can control in life is your action and your attitude. And those two things are the two things that I had to take control of 6 weeks ago whenever I was angry and anxious and I didn't know how the hell to handle life and I didn't like how I felt. So I started inside with my food that I was eating and what I was putting in my mind. And everything just fell into place perfectly between the high five habit, the weekend retreat, and everything coming together. And I will tell you, numbers don't matter, but once I started actually practicing this and actually really actually believing it and really just being like, you know what, I fucking got this. Like, I'm fine. I'm going to do this. I ended last month at SC12 and I ended the month before at SC4. SC12 means that I have affected 6 lives. I've changed 6 lives last month. And whenever I reframed why I was showing up, instead of it being about a dollar sign, certain number, it was about the lives that I was going to touch. It was about the lives that I was going to change. And that made me show up even harder. Because if I don't show up today, that mom on the other side of the screen that's struggling too isn't going to see me. That person that's standing in the mirror hating themselves isn't going to see what I have to say. Isn't going to get the help that they need. That's what makes me show up. That's what helps me get through this journey a little bit easier. On the hard days when I don't want to do anything, on the hard days that I don't want to read, I don't want to work out, I just want to hide away in the corner. Like, well, what about her? Because it's really not about us. It is about the people that are around us and the world that we live in and the environment that we have. But it starts with us first. It always starts with us first. It has to. You have to focus on your nutrition, on your personal development, and your attitude going into the world and the action that you're taking with that. So hopefully this is helpful. The High Five habit is freaking amazing. I love it. I don't know how else to put it into words, how much it's changed everything for me. And it's just been, I think, just a different set of perfectly placed events and things that have come together right in time, right when I needed it. And I think if you really put faith in God or the universe to know that they're always going to have your back, and as long as you do the work, you're going to see the results. I think that is a really powerful thing too. And doing something like the High Five habit is showing you that there is so much power in yourself first. You have to show God or the universe what you're made of and that you're actually serious about this, and keep showing up for that. Keep going. Don't ever give up. Best thing I heard is that don't give up whenever it's hard. Don't ever give up when it's hard. Give up when it's easy. Move on when it's easy. Right now is not the time. Right now is to push the pedal to the metal and let's freaking go. So I'm done.
Freaking love that. Here for it. Does anybody have questions for Amy before we end this team call?
I left everyone speechless. Perfect.
Knocked it out of the park, sister. Way to go. All right. Well, we appreciate you being here. Thank you for taking time out of your Monday. Everyone, smile. I guess I need to take a picture. I don't know. I just said smile. I'll get ready. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right. I appreciate you taking your time. You ladies have the best evening.